Rising up like an island of rock in an ocean of prairie, the Black Hills is an isolated mountain range that stretches more than 100 miles from South Dakota to Wyoming. The contours of this weathered landscape are jagged and random, the obvious products of erosion, rainstorms, and plate tectonics. And no one would reasonably assume that any of these peaks were shaped by an active intentional purpose or plan, with one very notable exception. On the eastern wall of a granite cliff, the faces of 4 American presidents appear, seemingly out of thin air. Mount Rushmore. Since its completion in 1941, this iconic symbol of democracy has stood as a marvel of engineering and artistic vision. And recently, the monument has also taken on another role that its architect never anticipated. And in the history of its construction, scientists and philosophers have recognized a fundamental principle that could help answer a timeless question. Are the living organisms that inhabit our planet, including trees, flocks of birds, and the millions of tourists who visit Rushmore each year, merely the products of random, undirected natural processes and events? Or is life on Earth the crowning achievement of supernatural intelligence and design? Those silent faces have much to say. In 1927, Gutzon Borglum, a Danish-American artist, was commissioned to carve a colossal monument into a wall of Black Hills granite. It was an endeavor that would involve much more than clay, modeling knives, and a quiet studio. Over a span of 14 years, Borglum directed a team of more than 400 men as they carved a masterpiece out of a mountain. In addition to dynamite, rows of holes were drilled to weaken the rock so precise details could be shaped by hand. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Each remarkable likeness measured 60 feet from forehead to chin, and each was the product of meticulous preparation. Borglum left nothing to chance. Prior to the first stroke of a jackhammer, he thoroughly studied the mountain and formulated his plans to shape lifelike faces that would endure the ravages of nature and time. Then, each day, weather permitting, elaborate networks of scaffolds, ladders, steel cables, and winches were carefully positioned to safely move and support each member of the crew. Special techniques and measuring instruments were developed to ensure the pinpoint accuracy of every cut into the cliff. And when they were finished, Borglum's team had moved an estimated 450,000 tons of rock to complete a work of art and a man-made wonder of the world. But how does this breathtaking achievement connect us to the origin of life on our planet? Think of it this way. From the perspective of biological evolution, where life began and then developed without the benefit of foresight or targeted objectives, living organisms were the end products of molecular trial and error that unfolded randomly over eons of time. In stark contrast, the details of Teddy Roosevelt's eyes and nose, and the distinct features of Lincoln's resolute profile showed no evidence of being carved by the haphazard collision of granite atoms. Only a master artist with a sophisticated plan could create treasures like these. The irony here is significant. When it comes to the question of origins, most advocates of Darwinian evolution would readily agree that the Rushmore Memorial was indeed intelligently designed. But the 4 human beings that it honors were not. In the context of Mount Rushmore, this massive pile of rubble could symbolize the creative ability of blind, unintentional processes, while the faces right above it are the unmistakable works of purpose and mind. And there's more to this story. In the mountains, plains, and sky that surround the monument, evidence of an even higher level of design is abundant. Our planet is home to millions of species of living organisms, and within each, spectacular networks of biological systems and molecular machines work relentlessly with nearly flawless precision. And in the majestic strength and stamina of an elk, or a prairie dog's warning call to the rest of its community, through the beauty and function of a swallowtail's wings, and the extraordinary vision of a golden eagle, vivid threads of design and purpose emerge throughout the tapestry of life on Earth. For in every creature that moves or draws a breath, we discover creative brilliance that far exceeds Mount Rushmore or anything else crafted by human hands. And the deeper science probes into the complexity of life, the more the psalmist's ancient words resound with clarity and truth. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the entire world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God.